So I got to do something really cool last week. I was the keynote speaker and workshop facilitator for the New York State BOCES Special Education Network. And they had their annual spring summit. And I want to tell you a little bit about it. So New York State BOCES, BOCES, stands for Board of Cooperative Educational Services, and basically these are regional educational service centers, and they offer shared educational programming to the different districts in the region. So I had all the different special education directors there, and I want to tell you a little bit about what I did. Now, I offer professional development for teachers. Sometimes it's new teachers or summer professional development, just any kind of continuing education. And my company is accredited by IACET, the International Accreditors for Continuing Education and Training. So we offer a lot of training for teachers, especially in Georgia. That's one of our biggest states. And I like when I get to work in New York State where I live. I feel like I'm amongst my people, my neighbors. And so what I did a few things for them. Number one, I did a special presentation, a special keynote about the impact of mental health. I talked about my personal journey, and it was really important that I did that so they could understand my upbringing, who I was, like why I was there. And I was a kid that was in special education. And so I know what it feels like to be a special education student. And so I did that. It was cool. Great. Did my little presentation, played some drums for them, got to play drums for them. That was nice. I had a moment of that. And I let them know that this was about them and their students. This presentation is for you and your students. Everything we're going to be talking about is stuff you can apply. To be in class, I said, I know I'm doing my thing. And he said 15 minutes, so I played for 15 more minutes. And for the first time in my life, I calmed down. It was strange. No suspension, expulsion, or police, or mental hospital. Weird. Several months later, I decided I wanted me a girlfriend. And the one girl I liked just wasn't having it. I didn't know what to do with my feelings. So I stormed out of class and went into the room to go play drums by myself. I just sat there doing my thing on the drums. Now, I want to tell you some more about it. After that, I got to give them a little break and do some fun icebreaker. But I got to give them connectivity and conversations, our workplace mental health training. That's so important because in the workplace, people are really struggling right now. And think about it, like who do you talk to? Most people don't go, I'm going to talk to my manager because I'm dealing with mental health stuff. No, you usually tell a coworker, and people feel safe telling coworkers more than managers. So it's important that we give employees tools to help each other, not just tools that they can reach out to. Those are important too. So I got to give that training, and I really enjoyed giving it because it was very interactive. At the end, we actually did role playing where they got to play the role of manager and employee in a mental health situation, which was cool. And so it was really great, really fun. And by the way, one thing I always say about this kind of data, whenever there's a mental health survey, you have to assume that certain people aren't telling the truth. Because, or maybe they're just not aware of their thoughts and feelings, right? So 70% are stressed about the state of the world. 50% are stressed about money. I recently did a presentation on thriving in this time of uncertainty. It contained some of the material we learned this morning, but a lot of it was different. And one thing I was explaining in this presentation to human service professionals was consumer sentiment, how confident people feel about spending money in a given point in time. Right now, a lot of people don't feel confident about spending money. And that can teach you so much about what's going on in society overall in other areas of life. 50% worry about being judged. Yes, we're talking about mental health more than ever before. There's signs everywhere, but people still worry about being judged. And 25% have considered quitting their jobs. And 13%, this is a very important number here, say they told their manager or supervisor. That's a very low number. So people are struggling that you know at work, and they're not saying anything about it. This is an opportunity to find a way to help them. What is one thing you can do to be more accepting, accommodating, and compassionate with the people you work with? I'm going to give you a few minutes, and please talk with your table about this.
Deputy Superintendent Officer. Stuff in the workplace. So,
But the afternoon, we got to do drumming, interactive drumming, because I do corporate drumming. And the nice thing about the drumming is mental health issues and people issues go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other, actually. And I mean, think about it. You know, if you've got a mental health issue, you got a person in your head that goes with that issue, or several people from your past, whatever, or an imaginary person or imaginary people. And so that's where mental health issues and people issues go hand in hand. But also, let's just say none of that exists. You're just, I don't know, struggling with stuff in your head. Maybe you struggle with the relationships in your life because of your mental health issues. So you have to, in my opinion, address both at the same time. And we got to do that with drumming. In a world that's very divided, we got to unite. It's amazing seeing people come together in the drum circle. You know, people think, well, I'm not a drummer, how can I do this? But they realize pretty quickly that it's pretty simple if you allow yourself to work together. So we had some really awesome fun doing that. And BOCES also has a special meaning for me because I attended the Long Island High School for the Arts from Nassau BOCES in 11th and 12th grade. In fact, that changed my life, getting to go to a performing arts high school, because prior to that, my behavior had me in and out of several different schools, got expelled, and the Long Island High School for the Arts really changed my mental health journey for me. So knowing that that was part of BOCES gave me so much meaning to do this event. I met some great people. We had some great conversations.